Hi friends, welcome to today's current affairs discussion for UPSC Prelims 2026. Let us start. So guys, the very first topic is about a wetland complex in Assam. So guys, the wildlife experts are trying to list the Romari Dondua wetland complex as a Ramsar site in India. So guys, where is this Romari Dondua wetland complex? So guys, this wetland complex is in the Kaziranga Tiger Reserve. Guys, this is very important because Kaziranga is one of the most important protected area, and within this Kaziranga Tiger Reserve, we have this Raumari Dondua Wetland Complex, which is basically two wetlands, Raumari Bill and Dondua Bill. Guys, this is in the wildlife sanctuary Low Khoa Wildlife Sanctuary, which is a part of the Kaziranga Tiger Reserve. So, a map-based question can be framed on this Raumari Dondua Wetland Complex. Guys, recently, there was a bird survey of Kaziranga, and there lot of birds were found in this region. So, this wetland is very important. You may expect a question on this Raumari Dondua Wetland Complex. Where it is located? It is located in Assam. The sanctuary is Lokhoa Wildlife Sanctuary, which is part of the Kaziranga Tiger Reserve. So if you see guys in the northeast at present we have two Ramsar sites. These two Ramsar sites is Deepor Bill in Assam and Loktak Lake in Manipur. So guys, at present there are two Ramsar sites. If this Ramsar site is added, then we will have two more Ramsar sites. So this is an important topic. You may expect question on this because you can see UPSC has been asking PYQs on okay, look, wetlands. You can see here this question is a PYQ. Here you can see Hokera is basically Jammu and Kashmir. So this is not correct. And you can see here Sustam Kota is in Kerala. So this is also not correct. So Renuka in Himachal Pradesh, Rudra in Tripura, these two are correct. Okay. So you may expect question on wetlands. Map-based question on wetlands is a very popular. So remember guys, if they ask you about Romari Dondua Wetland Complex. It is located in Lokhoa Wildlife Sanctuary in Kaziranga Tiger Reserve. And in the northeast, at present, there are two Ramsar sites, Deepor Bill and Loktak. Guys, Ramsar sites is an international convention for conservation of wetlands. It was basically came into picture in 1971. Ramsar is a place in Iran. Okay, let us now move on to the next topic, guys. You see, recently there was another Ramsar site in India. You can see here 94. Ramsar site 94 in Bihar. The name of the Ramsar site is Goga Bill. Goga Bill. Okay, this is very important, guys. This is very important. Gogabi Lake. Okay, it is in Katihar district of Bihar. Guys, this Gogabi is Bihar's first community reserve. First community reserve. Okay, so that is why this is very important. Gogabi. Gogabi Lake. Okay, it is an oxbow lake. It's an oxbow lake. I hope you must have read in geography what is an oxbow lake. Okay, so guys, if you see at the national level, Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Okay, Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. First is Tamil Nadu in number of Ramsar sites. Second is Uttar Pradesh, and now third is Bihar. Okay, now Bihar has six Ramsar sites. Okay, so this is also an important fact, guys. In the South Asia, India has largest number of wetlands. Okay, in South Asia, India has largest number of wetlands. Okay, it is very important. And at the global level, we have UK and Mexico with the largest number of Ramsar sites in the world. Okay, India has largest number of Ramsar sites within South Asia. Within South Asia, I think in Asia, India's rank is third. Okay, so which states have largest number of wetlands which are listed in Ramsar site? It is as a Ramsar site, it is Tamil Nadu, second is Uttar Pradesh, third is Bihar. Okay, so this is an important fact which you can look. Okay, again you can see, let me see how many of you can answer this question. This is a PYQ. India is party to Ramsar Convention and declared many areas as Ramsar sites. Which of the following statement best describes as to how we should maintain these sites in context of this convention? Okay, so I'm giving you 1 minute. Let me see how many of you can answer in the comment box. I would like to see how many of you are able to answer it correctly. So I'll wait for 1 minute and then we'll move on. So every day, guys, you can see I'm incorporating lot of PYQs in our current affairs discussion. Please do attend these current affairs discussions. A lot of questions can be expected from this current affairs discussion. Guys, if you want to read the entire DPN, you can go to our website Optimize IAS, download our app Optimize IAS, and there you can read the DPN where we have covered in depth all the important current affairs of today. Okay, let us now go to the next topic, guys. Recently, Delhi tried cloud seeding to tackle the pollution problem. Guys, cloud seeding is basically a geoengineering technique where we artificially create rain. Okay, artificial rain. Okay, so if you see recently only UPSC has asked question in 2025, artificial way of causing rainfall is using silver iodide and potassium iodide. Option A is correct. So guys, this artificial rain was not successful right now in Delhi. Why it was not successful? Because this artificial rain can be created using silver iodide and potassium iodide, but there is a precondition. What is the precondition? That this artificial rain is only possible when we have pre-existing cloud, and that cloud should be a certain class of cloud, which is called hygroscopic or warm rain cloud. Hygroscopic cloud or warm rain cloud. Okay, why, guys, artificial rain requires this cloud? Because guys, these clouds have lot of moisture, so they can easily, okay, be used to create artificial rain. Guys, artificial rain, how does it occur? These chemicals when we spread in the cloud, they act as a nuclei around which water particles starts collecting, okay, and they form into ice crystals, and there is cloud formation and there is rainfall. Okay, so you may expect a question on cloud seeding. It's a very important question. Remember this, hygroscopic clouds is precondition for artificial rain to succeed. Next, let us move on to the next topic. Next topic, guys, today ISRO has launched India's heaviest communication satellite. This is very important. Guys, whenever some heaviest, largest kind of satellites are launched, these are very big important. So the name of the satellite is CMS-03, which is also called as GSAT 7R. So it is basically India's heaviest communication satellite, which will be used for defense communication over the Indian Ocean region. Over the Indian Ocean region, it is launched in geosynchronous orbit. It is a launch in geosynchronous orbit. So whenever you get a satellite question or a satellite topic, what are dimension you need to prepare? First of all, you need to prepare what is the objective of the satellite. Here, the objective of the satellite is it's a communication satellite and used for defense communication. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing, what you need to know is that, okay, which is the launching vehicle? You can see the launching vehicle is LVM-3, which is launch vehicle Mark 3, which is India's most powerful and heaviest launch vehicle, which was also referred as GSLV Mark 3. GSLV Mark 3, very, very important. GSLV Mark 3 is the launching vehicle. They may also ask you GSLV Mark 3, okay, what are the number of stages in this? So guys, GSLV Mark 3 has three stages. First stage is solid rocket, second stage is liquid, and the third stage is cryogenic stage. Cryogenic stage basically is what? Where very low temperature is used to burn the fuel. Here you can see liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen is used in the cryogenic stage. So number of stages are also sometimes asked in the UPSC prelims examination. Remember, it is first stage, second stage, third stage. First stage is solid propellant, second stage is liquid propellant, and third stage is cryogenic stage. Okay, next topic, guys, is again from Science and Tech. ICMR invites interest to develop monoclonal antibodies against Nipah virus. Guys, Nipah virus is a zoonotic disease. Nipah is a zoonotic disease. So zoonotic diseases are those diseases which transfer from animal to man, animal to humans. Okay, from animal to humans. Like for example, COVID was also a zoonotic disease. So guys, recently what we have seen, that number of zoonotic diseases outbreak is increasing in India. We have the Zika virus, we have the Nipah virus, we have the COVID. Okay, so you may also prepare what is a zoonotic disease, and list of all zoonotic diseases. Okay, so as far as Nipah virus is concerned, this is an important topic because recently it was asked, guys, fruit bats basically spread Nipah virus. And guys, here a concept is required, which is monoclonal antibodies. What is monoclonal antibodies? Why this is important? Because you can see in 2025 only UPSC has asked question on monoclonal antibodies. So guys, monoclonal antibodies are man-made or artificially made antibodies which are synthesized in laboratory. They basically mimic natural antibodies produced by the body. Okay, they target pathogenic proteins or antigens in response to the infections and neutralize them. So monoclonal antibodies are basically the clones of one antibody. That is why they're called monoclonal. They are clones of antibody, and that is why they can specifically target those uh, kind of those antigens, okay, which as per which this has been designed. Okay, so this is very important. They bind to only one. They bind to only one antigen. This is very very important. That is why they are called monoclonal, because they are clones of one antibody. Okay, guys, if you do not know how the immunity system work, I would like to request you, please do read about antibody and antigens. This is very important. Okay, so why this monoclonal antibody is important, guys? Monoclonal antibody is important because it serves as PEP. What is PEP? Post exposure prophylaxis. PEP is basically a preventive medicine treatment started after the exposure to a pathogen in order to prevent the infection from occurring. This is very very important. Generally, guys, PEP treatments, I hope you know that in HIV AIDS also this PEP treatment is used. Okay, let us now move on to the next topic. So this PYQ, I hope you must have already seen. This is 2025 PYQ. They are man-made monoclonal bodies. Yes, monoclonal antibodies are man-made. They stimulate immunological function due to their ability to bind to one specific antigen. Yes, they are used in NIFA. Yes. Okay, so answer is 1, 2, 3. Let us now move on further, guys. See, guys, Trump has warned Nigeria of aid cut because, guys, there has been some persecution of Christians. Okay, so guys, you may get map oriented question on Nigeria. Nigeria is located in Western Africa and it is bordered by Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Benin. Okay, so these are the four countries which border Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous country of Africa, therefore it is very important. The capital is Abuja and Lagos is the largest city of Nigeria. The river Niger, okay, flows through Nigeria. This is very important. So Nigeria is one country which you should prepare. Here you should prepare Boko Haram. Boko Haram, guys, Boko Haram. You should prepare what is Boko Haram. This is very important. Okay, so this is one kind of extremist organization, Islamic extremist organization, which is active in Nigeria. Next, guys, you can see here Canada and Philippines. They have signed a defense pact in order to deter China in South China Sea. Guys, South China Sea dispute is going on for last 2 decades. It is basically related to sovereignty over South China Sea. China claims the sovereignty over the entire South China Sea according to the nine dash line, obviously, which is protested by other Southeast Asian countries like Philippines, okay, and other countries. So now you see Philippines and Canada, they have signed a defense deal or defense pact to basically counter China in the South China Sea. Guys, here you should know the two islands, Spratly Island and Paracel Island, which are the disputed islands, Paracel Island and Spratly Island in the South China Sea. So please do prepare the map of South China Sea, prepare the Spratly Island and the Paracel Island. Recently, guys, Philippines has been locked in conflict with China. Okay, let us now move on to the next topic, guys. Iran vows to rebuild nuclear facilities with greater strength. So, guys, you know that there was bombing of nuclear facilities of Iran just few months back only. So you should know where are the nuclear facilities of Iran. Map-based questions can be expected. You can see here Fordo, Arak, Natanz, Isfahan, Bushehr. These are the nuclear facilities of Iran. Okay, so names of map-based questions you can expect, guys. Fordo, Arak, Natanz, Isfahan, and Bushehr. Okay, let us now move on to the next topic, guys. You can see here, guys, America has been attacking on drug vessels in the Caribbean Sea. So you may expect question on Caribbean Sea, guys. Water bodies are very popular in UPSC prelims examination. Here they can ask you what are the bordering countries of Caribbean Sea. Guys, bordering countries of Caribbean Sea, if you see from the South America, we have the Colombia. Okay, this is very very important, guys, very very important. Okay, so you can see the countries Venezuela, Colombia from South America. Then we have, you can see Nicaragua, okay, Panama, Jamaica. Okay, so these are some of the countries which are bordering the Caribbean Sea. Have a look at it. Okay, Bahamas, Barbados. Okay, just prepare, just have a look at it because you may expect a question which are bordering countries of Caribbean Sea. Which are the bordering countries of Caribbean Sea? This is a popular theme in UPSC. Since there are a lot many names are there, you need to remember it. Just do Google search, you will get this. Okay, but this is an important theme. Next, guys, Ukrainian drones hit key Russian oil ports. So, guys, you can see here that Russia attacks Odessa. Russia attacks Odessa and also Donetsk region of Ukraine. Now Ukraine has attacked one of the Russian port in the Black Sea. So guys, Black Sea is a very important topic for UPSC prelims examination. Countries which are bordering Black Sea is Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria, and Romania. So bordering countries of Black Sea is very, very important. Guys, this Russia-Ukraine conflict is happening for the last so many years now, 3 years. Okay, so every year you may expect a map-based question on Russia-Ukraine war. So please do prepare Black Sea. What are the bordering countries of Black Sea? Okay, Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria, and Romania. You know, guys, Crimea region, Crimea region. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, let us now move on to the next topic, guys. Next topic: Israel urges Lebanon to disarm Hezbollah. So, guys, Hezbollah is one of the kind of extremist organization which is basically headquartered in Lebanon. Okay, so Lebanon, Hezbollah. Sometimes they will give you organizations and they will give you match the countries. So Hezbollah and Lebanon, you should know. Next, guys, you can see Russia has launched one of the nuclear submarines known as Khabarovsk. Okay, Khabarovsk. This is very important. Khabarovsk. Okay, it is a kind of a nuclear submarine. Okay, very, very important. Next, guys, India has been to today a tri-service exercise has started called Trishul. Okay, so guys, military exercises these days UPSC is focusing. You may expect question on military exercises. So Trishul, remember, it's a tri-service exercise. It's a tri-service exercise. Last topic is enthification. What is enthification, guys? This is basically a term which has been coined recently for the experience which we are experiencing when we are using internet and various services, various social media platforms. When the social media platforms, the experience is worsening. Okay, so if you have been using social media experiences, you may have stopped using some of the social media because of the change in the setup. Because now social media companies, they are trying to monetize everything, because of which, guys, they are putting a lot of ads and all that. So many people are stopped using the social media because of the bad experience. So this entire thing where the consumers of social media, they have a very bad experience with the platform. Okay, maybe it is YouTube or any social media. Okay, Instagram, Facebook. Okay, so slowly what happens, the platform starts degrading. Okay, platform starts degrading. That term is called enthification. So guys, term based questions are very popular in UPSC prelims examination. So guys, this was it for today. If you like the manner of my discussion, how I have linked current affairs, PYQs, static, and everything, please do let me know, and please do answer the questions which I have been giving in this. And do like the video and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Take care.